Hello, everyone. And when you do a campaign and you rescue your big brother, he has no skills. In this video, I'm going to show you how to assign all of his skills to turn him from this into this so he can first become a great horse archer captain, then a party leader, and then finally your governor, who is going to have reduced wages, increased militia, and a 95% reduced escape chance for prisoners in town. I will be time stamping each section in which I go through and assign all the skills, the attribute, and the focus points. Afterwards, I will explain each step of the process of Archer Captain, Party Leader, and Governor, and the advantages that they get. Starting off with Vigor, we always want to take Governor number one, then the Party Leader perk, and then the Horse Archer perk. The first thing that we are going to go ahead and take, which really doesn't matter for this, I will just go ahead and I will take Deflect. For this one, I am absolutely going to take Swift Strike because I want increased militia. Once again, for this one, it's not a big deal. I take Cavalry just because he is a Horse Archer captain. For this one, I take Trainer because I want him to have the increased 2 HP. Once again, this one, I just go with Arrow Catcher because he's not going to be infantry. And finally, we are going to go with Garrison wages being reduced. On to two-handed. I go with Woodchopper because I want him to be able to get after shields. For this one, I normally go with axes, even though I do like the swing speed. This one, it's kind of up in the air as to what you want to do. It really is a personal preference. Once again, I want Shield Breaker to break shields. And for the last one, we want Berserker because it has 10% reduced garrison wages in town. For polearm, once again, I'll go ahead and choose Cavalry since that's what he's going to be on. Absolutely keep at bay. Once again, increased militia. For this one, not a huge deal which one you want. I do kind of prefer the swing speed. They're both infantry, so I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes. So I'll just take the knockdown resistance. I want Speed Killer, so that way it could do more damage against their horses. And finally, for this one, I want one security per day as a governor perk. For control, I want dead aim so they can go ahead and they can get the increased archery skill. For this one, I want bodkin so it could go ahead and reduce the enemy's armor. This one, you really would think you would want the reload speed. However, I want the accuracy bonus as a captain perk. And then finally, this one is also up in the air. I know some people do like to get that extra security, but I would rather have militia. I'll take the arrow piercer because we'll also get 20% reduced recruitment cost, which will be a big thing as a party leader. We will definitely take the reload speed since they are very slow to reload. And of course, I want the headshot damage. Throwing shield breaker to get rid of the shields. I don't take flexible fighter because most of the time he's not using melee. And then I'll take mounted skirmisher. So once again, that will help reduce the accuracy. Endurance. I want the maneuverability and adding the riding skill. Some people do like get veterinary, and some people like taking the increased HP on the horse. So this is going to go ahead and help out with your captain that does have a governor perk, but I am not very big into prosperity since it increases food gain and it lowers security. So I like to take well strapped. This is also a really tough one I love increased carrying capacity. The 30% increased mounted patrol speed isn't that much because most of the time he is going to be in my army, not roaming around on his own. So I like to take Phil to the brim. This is very important. While a lot of people love that speed, he's going to be my horse archer captain. So I want Sagittarius so it decreases the accuracy penalty by 15% for mounted ranged troops in your formation. Athletics, well built, 5 HP to him and to all the people in his party. Form-fitting armor, so that way he runs faster. And then finally, I want the extra party size. Cunning. Tactics is kind of one of those things that I am not 100% familiar with. I would highly recommend watching Strat Gaming's video on Tactics Guide to know exactly which ones are the best to pick. I kind of just have my guess which ones are really good. Loose formation mostly are going to be fighting in steppes and plains instead of snow and forest. I want the 10 party size limit. For this one, I want all battle simulations, not just against bandits, in case he does go out on his own, which I did accidentally take Lawkeeper. And then for this one, I'm not really sure which is going to be the best one. Onto social. For the Viral perk, only one spouse needs to have it. However, we do have a governor perk. I know people like to get that extra influence or morale when besieging. I would rather have the governor perk. Absolutely warlord. I cannot stress this enough. Not only does it increase influence gain in battle by 30%, but it increases the hard cap of influence. Influence is hard capped at 50 per battle. This will increase the hard cap to 65 per battle. It does have a governor perk though, so I kind of like to take it because of the governor perk, which is what his speciality is going to be. Once again, we do have a governor perk. I think most of the main ones, not counting gang leaders, are male. So I kind of like to go with the same gender. Leadership. I want Raise the Meek. I know this is good as a party leader, but once again, he is going to be a governor. For this one, a lot of people think that they want to go ahead and they want to take the defender, more morale in case he gets into trouble. They normally have lower tier prisoners. We want them to recruit the lower tiers first. For this one, you look at the party size limit, which is 5, which is great, and it increases town security. It's 20% more effective. However, this is where you have to look at loyalty. Do you think you're going to have more of a problem with security or loyalty? I think loyalty is 10 times more important than security. I always want loyalty and honor. While the renown gain is great, once you hit clan tier 6, you gain no more renown. But tier 3 plus troops under your command ignore retreat due to low morale, which means they're never going to flee. And you can also convert the bandits to a 30% faster. Finally, we want presence. And that way they gain 5 security while waiting in a town. Now, I think this is currently bugged at the moment and doesn't work. Trade. We want equipment. Most people think they want it for trade goods, but trust me when I tell you that does not make a huge difference. You're going to get very expensive equipment for him, and he sells it and is going to get a lot more out of the equipment. I want the increased carrying weight so they do not go overburdened and slow me down. This one, I always want to be able to take villages. We're going to be traveling to villages to collect up food and troops. So I always want that decreased buying price so it doesn't cost as much to buy supplies. I always go with toll gates because there are more merchants than artisans in a town, and it will allow him to gain extra relation if he's doing anything of that sort. And then for this, I take artisan community. He's not hiring companions, but it will increase the recruitment slot by 1 when recruiting from merchant notables. Intelligence, steward. I always like to take the food, and the reason why is because food is expensive. You can sometimes be out for weeks, if not months at a time, and I don't want to have to worry about them running out of food. Money doesn't really matter to me in the game, as I can make a ton of money. For this one, without a doubt, plus militia a day. You could take the 5 less garrison wages, but militia are going to be king in defending a town. This is kind of a little up in the air. As he is a quartermaster, he's going to be able to build faster. If he's ever going to be a governor in a castle, you want the 20% reduced wages. Also, once again, reduced food consumption in an army. So now he uses 15% less food. For this one, I always take efficient campaigner. My clan parties are almost always in an army with me. Therefore, they're going to get 15% decreased wages in my army. I want tax income to be higher as a governor because tax income is always higher than tariff. I'll take the village hearth. Project boosting is 20% more effective. Now, this is a sticking point because while Aid Corps is going to be amazing for him for not paying wages when troops are going to be wounded after battle as a party leader, Village Hearth grows very, very slowly. This one can be a little bit up in the air where project boosting is insanely strong. So while I take Aid Corps, I have no problems if anyone wants to take relocation. Now, I'm not going to run through all of the other perks that have not been assigned. That would be in a separate video. I'm just showing you how I set him up. Focus and attribute points. As I said, he's going to be our horse archer captain, party leader, then governor. The one thing we need to do is let's assign him his focus points. We are going to put all 5 to steward, all 5 to medicine, all 5 to engineering, because these are going to be running a party, and all 3 of these are going to be as a governor. We want to assign all 5 points to riding. This is vital. We need to get this to 225 as fast as possible. You now have 5 points left over. What you want to do at a very minimum is put at least 1 point into roguery, and that is at a minimum because we need to get him 25 sweet talker as soon as possible. This is, however, what I do. I leave him sit right about there, and then the last point, I figure out what I want to go ahead and do, and I'll throw him into scouting. And the last are your choices. For your attribute points, first, let's look at riding. We want to get that learning limit to 225 at the minimum. So get that up to 225. That is the most important thing we want if we're going for the 95% reduced escape chance for prisoners. I will put at least 7 points so he can hit 275 in all of these, and I will even put an 8th point into it. From here, you can decide what you want to do with the last point. Putting it into Cunning to help out with roguery is fine. However, I would advise either to go with Steward to get these to 275 quicker, or put the last point into Endurance so he gets a higher learning rate to get 225 as quick as possible. That is how you assign your big brother. Now we'll go ahead and look at all 3 phases of your big brother and what each one does for you. As a horse archer captain, he's going to give plus 30 riding to everyone. Cavalry troops will have 5% increased melee damage. Cavalry troops will also have their damage increased by 2%, so that is 7%. They will also have the 15% decreased accuracy penalty for ranged troops. So he is going to be a great captain for you when you first start out your campaign. That is how he is set up as a horse archer captain. I normally give him probably a 2-handed weapon, and then I will throw on a bow, a couple quivers, and put him on a good horse, and he will be a great captain for you. As a party leader, this guy has been worked a little bit, but not full as I normally would, as this is a smithing character. But you want him to get as much steward and medicine as possible. Steward for the troops, and medicine so he doesn't lose as many and get them back faster. That is the biggest problem with your AI, is they will lose troops faster than you do because they don't have medicine. So he's going to be a great person that I always keep in my army because I don't trust the AI to run out on their own. So I keep all my clan parties with me. And therefore, also, if they start running out of troops, you can just go ahead and you can donate some more troops to them because you're going to have an easier time holding on to troops if you have higher medicine. So specialize in making sure that you are working their medicine and their steward. Now, before you make him a governor, there are three things that we want to get done. First, we want to get 225 riding. This is the thing that is going to take the longest for you to get done. And this is why you want to make sure you continuously upgrade his bow and have a good weapon so he gains as much riding as fast as possible. This will give prisoners in towns a 50% reduced escape chance. Next, we want to get him 25 Sweet Talker. This is going to be difficult as Tail World has made it so parties do not sell prisoners anymore. Therefore, there are a couple things you can do. You can give them a bunch of bandit troops to gain XP. If you are running the Useful Companions mod, then scouting will also give roguery. So before becoming a governor, you need to get him 25 Sweet Talker so he has 20% less likely to escape from towns by prisoners. Finally, you want to get him 50 Prison Architect and Engineering. This is pretty simple to do. You do not gain a lot of XP while you are building your siege equipment. Once your ranged weapons are attacking their ranged weapons and walls, the skill will absolutely fly. And in just one siege, if you don't attack, tear down the walls, just continue to let your weapons attack their weapons and just don't siege, he can easily get 50 in just one battle. You also want to keep increasing and leave him as engineer as long as possible. But you can see up here, Governor, faster building production plus 21.5%. So the higher engineering you get him, the faster he's going to build projects. Once he's your party leader, normally when my little brother is 18 years old, I will have him take over as a party leader and bring my big brother back into my party to become my engineer to get him at least 50 and hopefully much higher than that. So by getting mounted patrols at 225 riding, Sweet Talker at 25 roguery, and Prison Architect at 50 engineering, you will have a 95% reduced escape chance for prisoners from town. And let me stress that that is not a castle, that is a town. So that is how you set him up to become the next step as a governor. So this is what my governor looks like from the last one that I just showed you, not the original build, which the original build will be a little bit more powerful than what you see here because I don't have the points assigned. He doesn't have a whole lot of skills to him. When we look at him as a governor, go to Manage Town, click on Governor, and hover over him. Look at all of those skills that he has assigned to him. Underneath it, you see all of his perks. To just run through a few, this is a town only reminder, though. This is not a castle. 95% reduced escape chance of prisoners, 20% reduced wages of your garrison, 1.5 militia a day, 1 loyalty a day, 1 security a day, 10% higher tax income. Garrison troops will gain 3 XP daily, and you have multiple relation perks with notables. So this is how I set up my big brother to originally become a horse archer captain, then a party leader, and finally he is going to become my governor. Setting him up correctly from the beginning of the game can make him an extremely powerful person. If you have any questions, let me know down below or in Discord, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. Until next time, my friends, take care, and thanks for watching.